But I have a few stories that I'd like to tell you, and I'll give credit to where credit is due. One of them is from the famous actor, comedian, who is since deceased, is Buddy Hacket. I don't know if people remember Buddy Hacket. But Buddy was a sort of a rotund guy, and he talked like this, you know, he always talked with his mouth up like that, you know. So he, honey?
The microphone, please.
I don't have to use the microphone. I mean, I'm not going to use it all the time. Anyway, this is the story that Buddy Hacket told, which I think is one of his better routines. Buddy Hacket tells a story about this guy. He lives in New York City, and he decides he wants to go duck hunting. So he gets all of the guns and all of the equipment, and one morning he gets up really bright, early in the morning, gets in his car, and he goes out driving. He goes out past all of the suburbs, out to the farm country. He comes to this pasture, and there in the pasture he sees all of this grass and everything. He says, this looks like a good place for me to go duck hunting. So he gets out of the car and he goes in there, and he's there with his gun, and he's crouching down there for about 2 or 3 hours. He's freezing his tail off. And all of a sudden some ducks come over. He said, oh, there's some ducks. Boom! And the duck falls down. He said, oh, I got myself a duck. So he goes, now he's going to get his duck. So he goes running across the field, and he's about to crawl over this fence, and all of a sudden he hears this voice. What do you think you're doing? He says, I'm going to get my duck. He says, that's not your duck, that's my duck. He said, no, it's my duck. I just shot him. The guy says, that buck hit my barn and fell into my yard, and anything that's in my yard belongs to me. That's my duck. So Buddy says, but it's my duck. He says, I've been up all day. I came from the city. I've been out here for 2 or 3 hours. I finally got the duck. It's my duck. The guy says, oh, I can tell, you know, you're from the city. You don't understand the country ways out here. Well, out here, we settle things the country way. He says, yeah, well, how is that? He says, what we do is I kick you in the balls, and then you kick me in the balls, and before we know it, whenever a person says that the other guy can have the duck, it's his duck. The guy said, oh, gee, that sounds very painful, you know? What is it?
You think?
So the guy says, well, that's the way we do it. He says, well, I want my duck. So he says, all right, let's go it. The guy says, all right, I go first. He goes, oh, wham! He goes, oh, my God, oh, 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 oh. He says, okay, now it's my turn. The guy says, no, you can have the duck.